Hi, my name is Ukairo Ukairo, and I was a content creator at Sputnik ATX. I started working at Sputnik in early February, and I got at least a whole month of work done before the pandemic struck and kept us in a position where we had to pivot and learn how we could record videos remotely and send to me, the editor, to edit videos and tell the stories that we wanted to tell of the founders, of what we're doing at Sputnik to empower founders in the startup circle in Austin. And that entire process taught me a lot. At Sputnik, I feel like I understood that one of my biggest strengths is connecting with the stories of people. So the thing is, I'm an artist, right? And I wear my heart on my sleeve, and bringing that kind of mindset or that personality to a corporate environment was definitely an interesting kind of recipe that was being brewed up in Sputnik. And I enjoyed it because the stereotype you have of corporate environments is that people don't have it hard and none of that. But then, I came into an environment and I learned people's stories and I connected with them just outside of what they were passionate about what idea they were working on what problem they were solving or what service they were providing. And that became a window of opportunity to tell their stories. Now, I had a lot of projects planned before the pandemic struck, and we had to pivot and start learning how to tell stories remotely. And that was one of the biggest challenges that I had at Sputnik, because now I couldn't go around and film people and compose stories and compose the shots and the movements and tell the stories necessarily that I wanted. But it was a challenge, and we tried to meet it, right? One of the things that I'm proudest of, and I'm thankful for Oksana and Joe for pushing me to do this, was to create some sort of handbook to explain the best practices for recording video remotely. And that is something we started using, and it's working great. It's making the quality of our recordings from home, from our phones, way better. And I'm glad that I was always pushed to think about solutions, because as a filmmaker, sometimes you can think that a lot of what you do is just creative work, but a lot of it is actually creative problem solving. And I was pushed to do that at Sputnik, and I'm so grateful for every opportunity that I had to do that. I also feel like officially my standards for what kind of work environment I want to be in have been raised, because one of the biggest challenges I had it from an emotional standpoint was everything happening within the Black community, from the death of Ahmaud Arbery to the death of George Floyd, the death of Breonna Taylor, and all the videos that started resurfacing, and everything that was happening, the conversations that were being had. It was a very trying time, and I'm glad that my coworkers at Sputnik were able to support me through that. It took me reaching out, however, and that's my biggest lesson from Sputnik. Definitely reach out. And that is one of the key takeaways in terms of I would say a weakness of mine is that I don't reach out to people when I need help. But the funny thing is I'm always there to help and I want to assist. I remember having a conversation with my supervisor over the phone, and she told me that it was important that I learn to reach out, because there's no way that the people who you're working with are going to know what you're going through in specifics. They can assume, they can make conjectures, but they can't be sure of what you're going through if you don't tell them. And so that's one of the biggest things I'm taking away that I want to get better at wherever I move on to, is if I'm having a bad day, if I'm struggling with something, if I need an extension, if I need a deadline to be reviewed, if I need resources to be given to me, if I have a question about something, I just need to reach out. I'm very grateful to the team at Sputnik for the support I was given, for the questions I was asked, for the moments when I was pushed, for the moments when I was encouraged, from the moments when I was trusted, and very importantly, for the moments when it felt like I was part of a family. Definitely an unforgettable experience, and I don't know that I can find what I found at Sputnik anywhere else, but it's definitely worth hoping.